Wikipedia, once celebrated as the pinnacle of open knowledge, presents a complex paradox in the digital age. It promises democratized information, where millions of contributors collaborate to document the world's collective knowledge. For a time, it seemed revolutionary. Anyone with an internet connection could edit, correct, and expand articles, offering access to information that was once locked behind paywalls or limited to academic circles. Students, researchers, and casual readers alike could find answers, explanations, and data at the click of a button. The openness, the collaborative spirit, and the sheer breadth of content gave Wikipedia an aura of credibility that few other platforms could match. Yet beneath this veneer of neutrality and reliability lies a more complicated story. The very openness that allows Wikipedia to thrive also makes it susceptible to structural weaknesses, bias, and errors. Its reliance on volunteer editors means that the topics receiving the most attention are not necessarily those that are most factual or comprehensive. Rather, they often reflect the interests, cultural backgrounds, and, at times, ideological leanings of the contributors who have the time, knowledge, and motivation to edit. While Wikipedia emphasizes verifiability, the sources it allows, the framing of articles, and the weight given to particular narratives can subtly, or sometimes overtly, shape perception in ways readers may not immediately notice. The situation becomes particularly acute in politically charged topics. Wikipedia has, in many ways, become a battleground for ideological influence, often without the average reader even realizing it. Consider the example of the Gateway Pundit, a conservative news outlet. Wikipedia's entry categorizes the site as a far-right fake news website, referencing instances where articles allegedly misidentified perpetrators of violent incidents or spread unverified claims. Yet, a careful review of the Gateway Pundit's coverage reveals numerous factual articles that report on topics largely ignored by mainstream media. Critics argue that the Wikipedia characterization reflects not objective analysis, but the editorial biases of contributors with a left-leaning perspective. This is not an isolated case. Similar patterns can be observed with other conservative-leaning outlets. Sites that expose controversial truths or report perspectives outside the mainstream often face skepticism, marginalization, or outright dismissal in Wikipedia entries, while their reporting is scrutinized more harshly than comparable stories from traditionally liberal outlets. This reveals a critical tension within Wikipedia's model. The platform strives for neutrality, yet its human contributors are influenced by their own perspectives. The editorial process, though collaborative, is not immune to ideological capture. When readers rely solely on Wikipedia for political information, they may be absorbing narratives subtly shaped by prevailing cultural and political norms within the editor community. The result is that politically controversial sites are often labeled unreliable or fake even when they report verifiable information, while more mainstream sources are treated as default authorities. The implications are profound. An encyclopedia that millions trust can inadvertently become a tool for amplifying certain viewpoints while minimizing others. Wikipedia is far from the only source that demonstrates these vulnerabilities. In fact, this phenomenon extends to many major news outlets. Across the political spectrum, media organizations have inherent biases, whether explicit or implicit. Liberal-leaning networks, print outlets, or online platforms may frame events in ways that emphasize progressive narratives, while conservative outlets may frame the same events differently. For the average consumer, distinguishing between objective reporting, ideological framing, and opinion becomes challenging. When this is combined with the authority many ascribe to platforms like Wikipedia, the danger of uncritically absorbing information grows. The lesson is clear. One must always approach any source, be it Wikipedia or mainstream news, with skepticism, verification, and cross-referencing. The scope of Wikipedia's impact is vast. Its articles influence academic research, news reporting, social media discussions, and even policymaking. In this sense, its failures are not trivial. When entries mischaracterize certain media outlets, downplay or ignore controversies, or selectively emphasize particular narratives, the platform's influence extends far beyond casual browsing. Over time, a pattern emerges in which truth-telling websites, those that investigate hidden agendas, expose corruption, or challenge mainstream assumptions, are systematically questioned or labeled untrustworthy, while more establishment-aligned sources receive tacit validation. This selective scrutiny can discourage alternative voices, consolidate mainstream narratives, and subtly shape public perception without explicit acknowledgement. Furthermore, the mechanics of Wikipedia exacerbate these issues. Controversial topics often undergo continuous editing wars, where opposing ideological factions revise, revert, and argue over content. These edit battles can be exhausting for smaller contributors who lack institutional knowledge, experience, or time to defend their perspectives. As a result, dominant ideological groups, even if unrepresentative of the broader public, can assert disproportionate influence over content. Over time, this creates a self-reinforcing environment where the most visible version of truth on Wikipedia is not necessarily the most factual, but rather the version most resilient to editorial contention. The implication is sobering. Wikipedia, the platform many assume represents neutral truth, is simultaneously one of the largest hidden failures of the modern information ecosystem. Its openness is both its strength and its Achilles heel. Millions rely on it daily, yet few recognize that the very structure that allows rapid knowledge creation also permits subtle, systemic bias. Unlike traditional encyclopedias with formal editorial oversight, Wikipedia operates on a democratic but informal system of volunteer editors, where popularity, perception, and ideological influence can outweigh objectivity. This is not to suggest that Wikipedia is worthless. Far from it. It is a remarkable repository of knowledge, with countless articles of high quality and rigor. But it demands critical engagement. Every assertion should be questioned, verified, and cross-referenced. The platform works best when users recognize its limitations, seek multiple perspectives, and conduct independent research, rather than accepting entries at face value. The lessons from Wikipedia extend beyond the site itself. In the modern digital age, no source is inherently free of bias. News websites, academic journals, social media platforms, and encyclopedic resources all reflect the perspectives and limitations of their creators. Readers must develop robust information literacy skills, evaluating sources, identifying bias, analyzing context, and confirming facts independently. Blind trust in any platform, regardless of reputation, can lead to misinformed beliefs and distorted perceptions. Ultimately, Wikipedia exemplifies a broader societal challenge. In a world where information is ubiquitous and attention spans are limited, the responsibility for discernment lies with the consumer. Wikipedia's hidden failures and ideological tendencies offer a cautionary tale. Even the most trusted resources can mislead, either unintentionally or subtly. Understanding this reality, questioning assumptions, and seeking corroborating evidence from diverse perspectives are not optional. They are essential for navigating the complexities of truth in the digital era. Only through active critical engagement can readers hope to approach the objective understanding that Wikipedia aspires to provide but cannot guarantee. The story of Wikipedia is a warning as much as it is an example. While its collaborative ethos and accessibility have changed the landscape of knowledge forever, its failures remind us that the pursuit of truth is never passive. Each reader must become an investigator, a skeptic, and a critical thinker. Only then can we mitigate the hidden dangers of even the most authoritative-seeming platforms, ensuring that our understanding of the world is informed, nuanced, and resilient against bias.